I'm Brian Liskai here with Dustin Stoup. He is going to race the Jamie Adams JRA Racing number 12X. Nice looking car. Got some great sponsors on here.
Yeah. Pretty much everybody that I had that came back on board with me this year, and then I think everybody that Jamie and Renee had came back with them. So yeah, just really thankful for all that and excited to get this year going.
You last year you started out in your own car, family car.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie has had other drivers in his car and won a track championship at Fremont, right?
Yep.
Correct, with Matt Foose. How did you two commingle into this deal?
So it's funny you asked that because I was actually just going back through Facebook messages the other day and of just me and Jamie, and so me and Jamie have known each other for quite a while, and Jamie actually helped us out on our car back in like 2010, I think is what the date on the message was, and so we've known each other for a while, and obviously being in the racing scene, everybody knows everybody, and we just kind of kept in contact, and we talk here and there at the racetrack and this and that, and so then last year, so I seen they were looking for a driver, and I kind of had some ideas of what I wanted to do in my head, and then so did he, and we got to talking and whatever, and we decided, one weekend, let's just start this thing now, and it took off. You
had some early success.
Yeah, we did. I mean, every race at Attica, and I like Attica, but it's just kind of not my style of track. I don't know, but something clicked last year, and we didn't finish outside of the top 4 but twice, and even with Jamie and coming on last year, and when we teamed up, it was the same deal, and we just hit the ground running, and we even at Fremont still continued success, and actually got better. The equipment that he brought along, and everybody just gelled real good. So
how important, Dustin, is it that you two are together? I mean, you ran your own stuff, and that takes a toll. I mean, financially, and when you get to a racetrack and you're thinking, I got to drive the race car too, but you have to. Jamie's been involved in this a long time, so now it takes a little bit of a load off of you when you get to the racetrack. Concentrate, go up and watch what's going on in the racetrack,
mm-hmm.
things like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. So when it was just me and my dad, so I'm not only driving the car, I am now setting the car up and watching the track, just like you said, and then I kind of telling my dad and Adam, hey, let's do this. Go set the tires at this, put this tire on, whatever. But I'm, constantly just thinking about all this stuff going on and not just focusing on driving. Now with Jamie, he's got notes and notes on these great J&J race cars that date back to, I think 2009, 8, probably even further than that. And that takes a huge load off of me and also him. Because you can look at times, and if you kept track of those times on, say, what the 410s in front of us were running, and what you set your car up to, and how you finished, and throughout the night and throughout the year, you can always just go back on that. So, like I said, he's got notes on everything, and it takes a big burden and a big load off of, I think, everybody. And when we get there, everybody's got their own job, and everything just flows so smoothly throughout the night at the racetrack, and that's huge. You don't want to be at the racetrack and struggling, and then on top of that, having to go out and race. So, I think we got a great team and a great system, and I think we're gonna have a really good 2024.
The 305 sprint division in this area, I get people from out of the area tell me that it is one of the most competitive, toughest divisions in dirt track racing. You agree with that?
Oh yeah, 100% agree with that.
Who's your biggest challenge?
I don't think there's one person, and that's what makes it so tough. I mean, we go to the racetrack at Fremont, Attica every weekend at this 305 class, and there's I would say a handful, probably 8 guys that could win that night. But biggest challenge, I would say, obviously it's got to be Paul Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
Paul's got, I don't know, 150 wins
Between the two tracks.
But I like racing with him, and I don't get discouraged when I get beat by him, because that just pushes me more to go back throughout the week and, okay, what can we do to get better? Or even so, we have a GoPro on the car, we have our YouTube channel. I'll go back and I will, watch him, watch his car, watch the lines that he took, and apply that with my driving style, try to, the next week. And it just, like I said, it's just not just one person, Paul's good, Brian Speedo's another one, he's been around for a while, got a bunch of wins. Jamie Miller, obviously, he's been dominant at Attica for the past, I think, 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
Just a handful of guys. It is very tough.
That said, what's your favorite track? Which is your favorite track?
Between the two?
Yeah.
Fremont and Attica? Probably Fremont. And even,
You're a Fremont boy.
Yeah, right. I don't know, and I say that about Attica, it's not my favorite between the two, but I don't know what we had going on last year, but we didn't finish outside of the top 4 but twice, and it could have been 3 times. I think we had an axle break one night, but either way, and the other 2 finishes was a 6th place finish, and then the last race of the year I was in the Bobby Clark racing car, and we finished 8th. But Fremont, we had a decent go at Fremont last year. I think there was maybe 1 finish outside of the top 10, but we got a win. But I don't know. I like how Fremont races, and it suits me.
Suits your style?
Yeah, suits my style a little bit more.
What would you rather win? A track championship at Fremont, a track championship at Attica, the AFCS, the fair race? What would you rather win? What would be the top in order?
In order, it would be, I would have to, our goal is to win all 3. Mm-hmm. I think that's everybody's goal. But, right, it would go, me personally, I want to win a Fremont track championship more than anything.
Why is that? Because of the history?
The history, my grandpa raced there, my dad raced there, now I'm racing there. Hopefully my kids will, as long as things don't skyrocket with any more than what they have. Hopefully my kids will race there. But just the history and the long list of names that's on that track champion list, and even just the all-time win list. I'm very grateful that I'm on that list. I think we have 9 or 10 wins at Fremont.
There's guys that have raced their whole career at Fremont and only have 1 win.
Yeah. So to be on the list at Fremont, it's a special feeling.
Okay. Now they gave me some questions to ask you. The 12X, you are 10X in your own car. Jamie's always run the 12.
So he actually asked me, and I said, Jamie, that's totally up to you. I know you've been 12 forever. And he's like, well, we're going all in together, and you want to keep a little bit of you in the car.
Well, you should have went 120X.
That's too many times. He just, let's keep a little bit of you in the car, and we just said, let's throw an X on there. It will be 12X this year.
Didn't you start in asphalt?
Yeah.
Sandusky was it a 4-banger, 6-cylinder?
It was. So I was actually thinking about this the other day. we started racing stock cars at Sandusky in 2005. So this will be my 19th year racing.
Oh, you're a veteran now.
Yeah.
That's probably
Yes.
saying you're old.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
You're 33. You got a lot of years yet in you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Personal note: you told me you work at Whirlpool.
Mhm.
How long you worked there?
I've been there 6.5 years.
6.5 years, and you
Yep.
just had a baby daughter.
Yep, she's almost a year and a half old.
What's her
Layla.
name? Layla.
Yep. So she's
That'll keep you on your toes.
wild. she keeps mom on her toes. That's for sure.
Okay, you walk in here and this car is gorgeous. By the way,
Yeah.
who did the
Handy
graphics?
Handy graphics. They did the graphics. Braden Finzel, I think, designed it. Yeah, he designed it, and then Handy Graphics and everybody put it on.
I've always liked the colors orange and blue together.
Yeah,
Frankie Kerr.
It's definitely different than the race cars that I've had.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've always been red and white. I think one year I had a black and white with the Century 21 car. Then past couple years have been black and blue or white and blue. I've had blue in it. And so yeah, this thing looks great. I love it. I can't wait to see it in Victory Lane.
Yeah, it's going to be, because of the orange, it'll stand out in the racetrack too.
Oh,
I
definitely.
get tired of black race cars.
My dad, he's already complaining. He's like, I'm gonna have to wear sunglasses to look at this dang thing. You know? It's too bright.
We talked before we started doing this video. Most 305 teams are. I want you to go in a little bit though before we get to that. You had a ride out of Indiana, and it was the Race Saber 305s, and you got to do a little racing in the West, in Nebraska, and places like that. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So forever grateful for Danny Roberts. He has owned race cars, and hopefully, I'm sure he'll watch this video, and hopefully he doesn't call me up and yell at me about this, but I'm pretty sure that he has owned a race car every single year since he got out of Vietnam. And he had a ton of drivers drive for him. He's had Kevin Huntley. He ran his non-wing car for a while. Who else did he have? I'm drawing blanks now on.
Tito's?
He had. So when I couldn't race the 305 Race Saver car, he would have T-Mez drive it, or Chase Stockin, he would drive it. But so yeah, he got me to travel to places that I probably wouldn't ever be able to do.
That 305 Nationals.
It's fun.
They get how many? They get like 100, 120 cars.
I think the lowest car count when we went out there, they had was 96.
Wow.
96 305. So it's tough. That Race Saver thing that's a very tough deal, especially out west. And there's so many of them out west, like the Texas,
Oklahoma, Nebraska.
Yeah,
that area.
That area. There is a ton of them cars out there, and they're runners. That's for sure. So So I ran, his car, and that's kind of how I got introduced to our engine builder now that we have.
That's what I was leading into. We talk about where most of the engines from that race Attica and Fremont come from. 3 or 4 engine builders. Yours is from out west, and you said you had a race. The guy who built the Race Saver engines, and you called him up, said, "You think you could build? Here's our rules. Could you build one?" He gave it a go.
Yeah, and so.
Where's he out of?
He is out of Ness City, Kansas.
Kansas.
Yep,
Okay.
the state. So I called him up like you said, the one time, and I said, your engines that we run with the Race Savers, they could easily keep up with our open 305s up here. And I said, I kind of want to do something a little bit different. We have our group of 3 or 4 engine builders, like you said, here in this area. And I said, I'm going to send you my rules, and, how do we make this happen? I want you to be our engine builder. And his name's Craig Myers, and Myers Racing Engines. And he's a great guy to talk to. And he's like, yeah, you know, send them to me and I will completely go through your engine and build you what you want. We'll get the semi-truck ordered and ship her on out here to me. So
Nice.
we are still waiting for it, obviously, but
You better hurry up.
it's
22 days, I think, till
it's
Connecticut.
we'll have it. We'll have it. It's on its way.
Okay, one of the questions had here, it says, have you ever sneezed during green flag conditions? If so, how'd that turn out?
I have thankfully not ever done that.
That could be, I
God,
mean, with
I
the
don't
shield
know
down,
what-
I've heard
I
of
don't
guys
know what you do.
getting, throwing up. Right.
I have heard that too.
I know that. Oh,
Probably the same person.
yes.
Probably the same person. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just pull it out of gear and pop my belts or something and say, hey, my seatbelt's came undone, and just wipe my shield off real quick. You know?
You ever have to go to the
Nobody's
bathroom while you're racing?
So
Everybody asks that, especially like when the Daytona 500 was these guys, they're out there for 3 hours.
yeah,
And I know at my age, I go to the bathroom 80 times a day. So I can't imagine what these
they
guys.
can probably afford it. They can just order a new suit.
Suit,
on
this is
Monday.
true. But
Yeah.
before you do that, suits, I don't think the average fan understand how expensive is a race uniform.
They're not cheap. No, not at all. So Awesome Racewear. I've been with them for 2 years now. Last year they made up my suit, and then my other one is being made right now as well. I think $1,500
Wow.
is a
So
going rate.
$1,500 for that, and you gotta have shoes.
Shoes are another 200. Gloves are 130.
Helmet.
Helmet is I've had mine for 3 years now, but I think it was the one that I got was $8,000 to $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you're talking $2,500 to $3,000 before you crawl in the race car.
pretty easily. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh yeah,
Oh,
that
and
Hans device.
So I got that new Hans device, or not Hans
It's not
device.
Hans.
Yes.
That's just everybody calls it that. but
Right. It's
Head and neck restraint system.
right. Yeah, the Maru safety brace, and that thing. I don't know if you watched that video that I did on that. I think that is a huge step into being proactive on safety, especially with your head. I mean, I've had 7, 8 concussions, and that is supposed to dramatically increase.
Decrease.
Well,
Increase the chance of
increase-
that not happening.
Correct. Yeah. There's a shock absorber built into the back of it, and it recognizes the forces put on it, forward and backward, so it slows your head.
I like that.
Head movement
Yeah.
down.
We've seen more spinal injuries in sprint car racers, I think, in the last 5, 6, 7 years. And I keep wondering, there's got to be a better way to mount seats to absorb some of that.
They do. So I hurt myself in a 305 actually at Fremont. I don't remember the year. I'm gonna say no, I do remember the year, 2014. So we were racing 360s at the time, and Mike Britt asked me to run one of his 305s for during Speed Week at Fremont, and I had something that broke coming off the corner, and I had ended up flipping, and the worst way that you can come down in a sprint car happened. The back end come down, frame rail smacked the ground, and I ended up in the hospital for a day and a half, 2 days, something like that, with spinal issues. So they make I don't know if they make it anymore, but they did at the time. The company was called 802 Crash Pad, and it's just like a foam insert in the bottom of your seat, and it's kind of the same thing as the Maru brace. It recognizes forces in the foam. Like, you can touch it and squish it, and it's nice and squishy, but if you hit it with a hammer, it doesn't move.
Wow.
And it really, that sounds terrible though, on your body it doesn't move, but it
we've
absorbs.
come a long way.
Yeah,
I-
it absorbs a lot of the forces.
My dad raced, and his sprint car seats were a piece of aluminum with an alarm
Yeah.
thing. That was it.
They didn't have seatbelts.
They had seatbelts.
Did they?
But you had the 6-point, but they didn't have the head and wrap around the seats, and it just.
Mhm.
I mean, you go get fitted for your seats now.
Right, and I mean, talking about expenses, so that's another thing is a seat. I actually wanted to Nothing wrong with my Butler builts that I have. I've just had them for quite some time. Went out to Kistler's and asked about one of the new Ultra Shield seats that they have, and it's $2,000. I mean,
Wow.
for a seat. So add probably tax on top of that. I'm sure you're a little bit over $2,000.
So you own your own cars. If I wanted to get into a 305 sprint car, ballpark figure what it would cost me to arrive at the racetrack with a race-ready race car.
That question, you can take a couple different ways. Are you going out and buying brand new everything, or good used stuff? I have no idea what used stuff costs, so I'm gonna go with, let's say we're building all new.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking, I would say, easily probably $30,000 up.
And the thing under the hood is most.
So that's a lot of it.
That's,
Yeah.
that's the majority
That
of it.
takes a lot of chunk. Yeah.
Do you have any superstitions when you race? You know, a lot of people didn't want green race cars. I go back years. Rick Ferkel, if you walk by his pit eating peanuts,
Yeah.
oh, he would lose it.
That's my dad.
Really?
My dad, not so much me, but yeah, my dad, same thing. No peanuts at the racetrack. Green is bad. The number 13 is bad. I don't really have any superstitions.
Do you have any
but
rituals?
I have a routine, yeah.
Okay.
So it's for my gloves. I'll get my helmet on, strapped in, everything, get in. And when I set my gloves on the steering and I go to put them on, my right glove goes down, left glove's on top. So I'm always putting my left glove on first, my right one on.
You right-handed?
I am right-handed. Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you say you have now you win?
Mm-hmm.
Do you try to repeat everything the next week that you did that night that you won?
I mean, we try to, right?
I mean, ritual. I mean, do you wear the same pair of underwear?
No, I'm not doing that.
You're not
Same
doing
socks.
that? Okay. If you get out of the race car, have you ever mistaken the flags, thinking that you took the checkered flag and it was the white flag?
I have not, thankfully. No.
Okay.
That is one.
Yeah, because I see racetracks. Some racetracks are doing with flagmen. They're going to have a virtual screen.
I've seen that.
Lincoln.
Is it Lincoln? Yeah.
Lincoln,
I haven't.
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
I haven't really read too much up on it, but I have heard that they're doing that, and I don't know. I guess it'll be interesting to see how that works out. I mean, I don't know if they're still going to have somebody in their ears on the receiver. Okay,
Yeah.
so that.
Does that bother you? Does the race? You kind of grew up in that era, though. You talk to older racers when they had to put those receivers in.
Yeah, no. So
They hated them.
I've had them ever since
Right.
we started racing in 2005. So no, it doesn't bother me too much. And it's kind of nice because, like you said, I am kind of getting old now, so saves on my ears a little bit. You know.
Do you have a nice pair of earbuds?
Just the regular.
Do you?
I would like to get a pair. So if anybody's out there wants to sponsor me the nice molded
There you
set
go.
of
Okay.
ear inserts, that would be great.
Let's get into some personal things. How old are you?
I'm 33.
You have any pets?
Yeah, we have one dog. She's an Australian Shepherd. Her name's Sydney. She's 8 years old now. Oh yeah, and I forgot. We have a bunny, a rabbit down in the basement now. My wonderful girlfriend went against what I said, and she's like,
Get used to
let's
that.
get a bunny, and I said, sure, as long as it's not inside, that's fine. Oh, but it's really cold out now, so can we just put him in the basement? So, yeah.
What's your favorite meal? Are you a pizza guy, a steak guy, a seafood guy?
I do like pizza. I really do like pizza. And Pizza House in Clyde has great pizza. If I had to say though, like a favorite food, Mexican food.
You like
I
Mexican
love
food?
Mexican food.
There you go. Favorite color?
I have two. It varies. It's between a blue and an orange, actually.
There you go.
Believe that or not.
Music you listen to? Are you a country guy? Hip hop?
everything. Like
You're all over the
I am
spectrum.
all over, yeah. Between hard, like heavy metal, hard rock, rap, hip hop, to country, to you look through my playlist and you're like, what is wrong with you?
When you get to the racetrack, and is there a song you like? Do you like to play music when you're at the racetrack to get you pumped up, or no?
No, not really. I stay pretty calm. I try to stay pretty calm at the races. And we've been doing it long enough now that I don't really get anxious, nervous, but butterflies in your stomach. I don't get amped up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know Joey Keegan?
I do.
Okay, Joey Keegan raced for a long time. It didn't matter. Every time he got to the racetrack, he got the dry heaves.
Really?
Before he,
Oh,
I,
no.
I went with him when I was a teenager, and me and Elvin Rupke went with him. We went to Tri-City Speedway in Pennsylvania. First time I'd ever been to races with Joey. We get there, unload the car, he gets ready to go out for hot laps, and he's out the front of the trailer, gagging and throwing up. And I said, "Oh my, what are we in for here?" He went out and finished like 4th or 5th in the feature that day.
Really?
It was amazing.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
What's one thing the average race fan doesn't know about Dustin Stroup? I know you're big and you like being out on the water. You have jet skis.
Yeah, so I do like the water. Got rid of the jet skis. I have a boat, but
Ray got another 1,000. That's what boat stands
well,
for.
we haven't gotten out on the boat. We didn't go out once last year, but I have a passion, and it really wasn't brought up until about a year ago. One of my buddies at work, I deal great with peer pressure, I've had a passion for motorcycles, Harley Davidsons. I love motorcycles, and I've had them in the past, and then kind of got rid of them. But then about a year ago at work, me and my buddy that I work with, he's like, "Come on, get a bike. It's fun. You've had them. They're fun. We all get together and ride and this and that." And all right, whatever. I went out and I got a bike, and then September rolls around and I bought another Harley Davidson, and so I have a passion for motorcycles.
Okay.
If I wasn't racing, I would.
You know the two best days of a boat owner's life? The day he buys a boat and the day he sells it.
And hopefully here soon. Mine's out the door, heading to somewhere else.
Okay, we talked about that. Oh, do you have a nickname other than Stroopy?
Stroup Dog.
Stroop Dog?
Yeah, that's so on the.
We gotta have a dog on it.
There's on the top wing, in the center of the top wing.
Okay.
So there's Underdog is up there actually.
There you go.
So yeah.
Because Kenny Jacobs had the Mighty Mouse.
Yeah,
You had the Stroop Dog.
we got the Stroup Dog, Underdog. We thought it'd be easy too for another reason, like my daughter. So she's 1.5, and it's something easy for her to pick out, like on the racetrack, and be like, "Oh look, there,
Right.
that's Daddy's car,"
Right.
out there. Raced with a guy in Indiana with the Race Savers. He had similar situation. He had Elma on the top wing of his car.
There you
and
go.
His son. There's Daddy.
What would you say your driving style is like? You've got guys like they buzz the high side. They like it. Jamie Miller hates running the bottom of the racetrack. Wants to be up there on the cushion. You've got other guys. They won't move off the bottom of the race. Alvin Rupke, he's glued to the bottom of the racetrack. What are you? What is your driving style?
Adaptive.
Adaptive?
Wherever the fastest line is. I've been told by a couple people, that they notice, that I'm not like that, glued to the top, glued to the bottom. They say, you do move around a lot on the racetrack, and it only makes sense. You're trying to find whatever the fastest line is. Sometimes now when you're leading the race, that's hard to do because, I would rather be in second, third, whatever. And,
Dale Blaney always said that. I'd rather be running second with 5 to go.
yeah, but, you can see if you're gaining or losing on that car in front of you. So yeah, I would just say adaptive would be the best best word.
These cars, you know, you've watched some press deals on them, and when Flo did that one little series about dirt track racing, and I forget what, it might have been Justin Grant said, you know, the coolest thing about sprint cars is they're trying to kill you all the time, and they're trying to hurt you.
They're wicked machines. I mean, even though it's a 305, you know, some people, they talk down on it. They're still 500 plus horsepower, you know.
And a car that
Race
weighs
cars.
1,500 pounds with you in it.
Yeah. I mean, they're still race cars, and they want to be driven on the edge, you know, and they handle better driven on the edge, I think. And there's nothing else like it. I mean,
It's addictive.
Very,
Very addictive.
So I agree.
How good a shape do you have to be in physically? I know mentally you have to be in pretty good shape to drive one of these, but physically you have to be. I
You
mean,
do. I don't work out as much as I would like to, trust me. I did there for a little while and got pretty, I wouldn't say built, or I was in shape, you know. And a lot of it though is, I want to say muscle memory. Like, you do it for so long, and you know.
You find if you tense up, it wears you out a little quicker.
Yeah.
You grip the steering wheel harder, that can wear you out.
Yeah.
If you relax in the car, it's not as demanding physically.
I agree. I think so, and you don't need to be a bodybuilder, but I think that the muscles that you're going to use kind of should be trained somewhat throughout the wintertime, you know.
Just the right foot.
The right foot, that's all you need.
That's all you need. Well, talk about, real quick here to wrap this up, all the great sponsors that this race team has put together this year.
Yeah, we got everybody that, like I said, is stuck with us as we had last year. So we got Craig Myers and the guys with Myers Racing Engines, Total Lawn Care, Velocity Print Co., GCE LLC, the Pizza House out of Clyde, Mitten Painting, J&J Auto Racing. I'm gonna have to turn and look. Handy Graphics, Sunrise Designs, BSE Welding and Fabricating. They are doing powder coating and sandblasting now as well.
Oh, nice.
DJ Johnson and Family, CWH Construction Services, Eye Candy Custom Cycles, Sulphur Town Pub, and just who else?
It takes all of them, though.
It is everybody.
I mean, your car owner's sitting over here and
Well, yeah.
It takes
obviously,
all of
Jamie and Renee Adams. You know, I have to. Obviously, without them, I wouldn't be racing. I don't think this year.
Are we going to have Dustin Stoup apparel this year?
Maybe some hats. Shirts are just tough. We might. We'll see what we can do with shirts, but probably get a hold of Velocity and get some hats made. Probably just do something plain simple, black hat with 12X on it, and call it good.
All right. Well, good luck this year.
Thank you, Brian.
All right.